Coming up on Dust Up.
If I don't spray them, some of these guys might lose their farm.
I heard the plane went down.
It's a good second mistake.
I flew the airplane. You want to lie to me? You think I'm stupid?
At the edge of Saskatchewan's northern wilderness lies some of the country's most productive farmland, with a living history as rich as the soil. Since the early 1880s, family farms here have fed Canada and the world. Today, exports reach as far as Japan, China, and India. But these fields weren't always fields. Homesteading pioneers settled here and tamed an unforgiving wilderness, expanding Canada's breadbasket northward from the prairie. At the region's hub, the town of Nipawin, population 5,000.
Hello, Willie. Hello.
There are two speeds here, slow and 200 kilometers an hour. Aerial spraying, or crop dusting, is what gives farmers a fighting chance against weeds, bugs, and disease. And it's a method that can save them a fortune. The right chemical in the right place, without so much as a footprint in the soil.
My name is Bud Jardine, and I've been crop spraying for 40 years.
Bud is a legend in the community, with roots that go back to Nipawin's early days.
My parents came here in 1924 from Ireland and settled. They managed to clear land with axes and horses. It's all solid trees. Just totally amazing.
In the late 60s, Bud bought the 800-acre homestead and became a full-time farmer. When his own fields needed spraying, Jardine crop dusting was born.
We had started right from scratch. We didn't know shift and wild honey. They weren't really spray planes. We turned them into a spray plane by adding equipment to just an airplane. We were like the Wright brothers out there.
At age 72, Bud Jardine is showing no signs of slowing down.
I don't just sit in an airplane, I strap it on.
Bud is the patriarch of a local crop dusting dynasty. His only son is Brennan Jardine. Brennan is the top gun sprayer in these parts.
When I'm really in the zone, there's nothing else in my mind other than what I'm doing. It's like there's nothing I can't do with that airplane.
But at breakneck speeds and an altitude of 5 feet, there's no margin for error. One mistake can be one too many.
When I first started, the life expectancy for a pilot was 3 years. I've got 40 in, and I just hope I haven't used up somebody else's time.
Everyone I know has hit a power line. Everyone I know has crashed. They stay in this game long enough. And I've been fortunate to not do either yet.
Brennan inherited his father's love of flying, and the two were once partners, but not anymore.
As time went on, I don't think that he looked at me as a partner, and that put a strain on our relationship. I don't trust my dad, right?
Brennan has struck out on his own, and today, father and son are competitors.
We're trying to move the combine.
Brennan's kid sister Shannon comes home to Nipawin every summer to help out.
His dad needs to land, and the combine's on the runway. Okay, Dad, all clear!
This is a very busy airport.
Okay, time to rock and roll, boys.
farmers are counting on me, right? That's their livelihood. Like, if I don't spray them, some of these guys, they might lose their farm.
It's peak spraying season, and Brennan is swamped with work. That means farmers are lining up, and Brennan is trying to keep up.
Hey, Barrett, how many acres are in this field?
Farmer Per Dahl came to Canada from Norway in 1957. He's one of Brennan's most loyal customers.
Certain guys that get me all the time, those are the guys that take priority, right? If it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't have an airplane, and I'll stick my neck out more for them. Where does the canola go to?
To the edge of the bluff there.
Per Dahl's modest crop of canola and peas is his livelihood, and it's in danger of being strangled by weeds.
Okay, so that's peas there.
The farm's patchwork of fields is tightly threaded between buildings, high trees, and power lines. A challenge, even for an aerial acrobat like Brennan.
This will keep me on my toes, pair of these fields.
What is it?
Oh, yeah.
Per wants the job done today, but winds are picking up and the sun is setting.
I just don't know about the weather. What time is it? 5:30?
It should have been sprayed about a week ago or better. 3 weeks ago even.
We just come back in the morning, leave the trailer and everything here.
I'm up at 3, 4 o'clock, it don't matter.
That's usually what time I'm going to bed, Per.
Oh, is it?
Okay, you ready?
This is Bud's backup plane.
Watch that propeller, Doug.
He keeps it standing by in the hangar he built with his own hands. Brennan also has a second plane, but he's not keeping it in a hangar.
There's farmers that don't normally call that are calling me now to say, are you available?
He's hired freelance pilot Bob Richards to help stem the tide of impatient farmers. It's just the edge Brennan needs. With Bob flying his spare plane, Brennan will be able to handle the lion's share of the local business. With the wind picking up, Brennan's job is getting tougher.
This is alfalfa?
Flying in gusty winds is tricky enough. Spraying accurately is even harder.
See, like right now, she's blowing pretty good. That spray could move. We'll see what the wind does.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
If you need water, call me.
Okay, right on, thanks. This is going to be a bad day spraying, eh?
Sister Shannon is Brennan's ground crew.
How's your stomach feeling?
Not too good, no.
She works both sides of the Jardine fence.
It's windy and it's gusty, it's crosswind, and this is going to be a nightmare spraying today.
The nightmare is only beginning. Brennan receives a chilling text message.
There's a plane went down. It's Brennan Jardine calling. I'm out in Smoky Burn. I don't have very good cell service. I heard something about a plane went down.
Yeah, heard that too.
It's not Travis?
Not Travis. Maybe Bob. Nobody seems to know who it is.
He doesn't know.
Fearing the worst, Brennan tries phoning his hired pilot, Bob Richards.
Hello? Can you hear me?
It's his voicemail.
Brennan takes to the air to search for the crash.
I was flying around looking for the wreck from the air, and eventually I found the aircraft.
The downed pilot is Bob. The plane is Brennan's.
It looked like the type of crash that no one would survive from. It looked like death.
In a marshy wood in northern Saskatchewan, a crop dusting plane has crashed.
When I flew over it, I thought he was probably gone, right? It looked like death.
By the time paramedics reach the plane, night has fallen. Incredibly, the pilot, Bob Richards, survived the crash.
Going back to that moment, my view was simply looking down the mountain, knowing that I was going to start going through all those trees. That when I finished banging through those trees and I was upside down, and I was just amazed that I was actually still alive.
Bob suffered head injuries and multiple fractures to his leg, hand, and ribs, but he remained conscious throughout the ordeal.
My first thought was my wife. Been married just for a year, and I just the thought of not coming back That was a tough feeling.
The next day, Brennan makes his way to the crash site.
See what's shaking?
Disaster has brought community and family together. Among those joining Brennan at Ground Zero is his father. The pilot's still alive, but the plane has flown its last flight.
Unbelievable.
It looked really bad. The plane had been ripped apart.
That's pushing your luck, isn't it?
Funny that windshield didn't cut his head right off.
He's very fortunate, blessed to be alive. And I'm glad I wasn't blinded.
The crash has temporarily halted both Jardine's operations. But there's another spray plane in the skies over Nipawin. 31-year-old Travis Carley is the new kid on the block, and he's moving in on the Jardine's territory.
Decided to crop dust last summer, and I have no training really. Just kind of taught myself, I guess you'd say, competition.
Travis grew up in a local family of entrepreneurs and learned to fly as a teenager. Now, with his own spray plane and a startup company called AccuMark, Travis plans to give Brennan a run for his money.
I don't like Travis and I don't respect him. He is the most inexperienced guy I've ever met in my life with crop dust. And I told Travis, you're just a disaster waiting to happen.
Oh, Brennan's running around trying to undercut me, but I just don't agree with the way he operates. Just do my thing, he can do his, and just keep expanding.
See if we can't do some spraying?
The plane crash has delayed Brennan in getting to Farmer Perdahl's job. With wild oats strangling his crop of peas, the farmer is more than a little anxious.
It's kind of windy right now, but we got to get it done, right? So we're going to roll.
Hey, friend.
Is it dripping a little bit under there? Yeah, it is.
But now, a fuel leak throws a wrench into the works.
How bad is it?
Bad.
And with no backup plane, Brennan is grounded.
Shit. These Pawnees, they don't make them anymore. So any mechanical issue is a crisis.
Yeah, leaking gas. And it's got to be fixed.
Veteran mechanic Milt Hughes has been around even longer than the old spray planes he fixes.
We didn't even catch it on fire.
It was the 1920s when the first flying farmers used biplanes to spray arsenic dust over the pests on their crops. In 1924, Huff Dallin Dusters of Macon, Georgia became the first commercial aerial sprayers. The company no longer sprays crops, but they're still flying.
Okay, Delta 155, line up, Portland.
They've changed their name to Delta Airlines.
Now, hello, it's Brennan calling again. Guess what?
Brennan's customer, Perdahl, is still waiting.
This field out here, wild oats are coming in bad.
Okay. See, this is why I tell farmers I don't make plans, because you just can't, eh?
For Brennan, everything is riding on this repair.
See its belly there? Pushes it up. So we kind of need that clamp.
With farmers waiting in limbo and Travis nipping at his heels, Brennan's predicament is getting more serious by the hour.
Before, I could jump in the other plane. Now I can't. That comfort zone is gone. You could lose it all just like that. Check it out here.
With his only working plane down for repairs, Brennan Jardine is grounded.
How you doing?
Good. The screw is kind of broken, so...
Okay.
Well, especially no good after we cut it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. If I can't fix it, where do I get the parts from? A lot of times you have to get it from Brazil, right? How long is it going to take?
Travis Carley's plane is a Piper Pawnee, just like Brennan's. But he has a deal in the works to buy a second plane, a Piper Brave.
Until this plane gets here, I'm going to run around and go talk to a bunch of producers and sell the Brave to them.
He may be the new kid on the block, but if the deal goes through, he'll own the fanciest spray plane in Nipawin. His first stop? One of Brennan's customers, Farmer Albert Fortier.
Hey, Albert?
betcha.
Travis.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. Good.
He sent out brochures in the mail. So that's how we heard about him.
Travis knows the rumor mill is labeled him a novice, but his background as a float plane pilot gives him certain bragging rights.
I'm not just new at this, Like, I've been flying for 14 years. So as far as people saying, well, he's new, whatever. They can talk all they want. If I didn't do a good job, I wouldn't be locked in with these big farmers.
Travis may not have bought a new plane yet, but he's already selling it.
Well, I got the Brave coming.
Right.
So, the Pawnee, it's pretty much limited 2 gallons to the acre, The Brave, it's twice as big. Like, it's got a 300-gallon hopper,
So give her.
Exactly, yeah.
What's Jardine, you think?
Pawnee. Yeah, I'll give you a call when that Brave comes. Okay, thanks for your time. Nice to meet you.
See you around. Yep,
Yeah. Okay, we'll see you guys. Okay.
Now, if Travis can deliver the actual plane, he'll be in business.
I'm going to take the nuts off.
At the crash site, Bud Jardine inspects the remains of Brennan's plane.
If we get rid of this wing, then we've got nothing going to fall on our heads either.
Bud's no longer in business with his son, but family history runs deep.
Still got my name on it. It's still Jardine. We may have to spin the tail that way to get the wheel in that hole.
The wreck is a source of rare Pawnee parts, but for Brennan it's a total loss. The plane was not covered by insurance.
I don't think I'll buy another Pawnee. I'll maybe lease my dad's, get it fixed up so it's ready to go. Then I have access to another airplane and he can generate income off that.
Bud is well aware of Brennan's predicament and his backup plan.
I don't think I would lease my aircraft out. We've got 2 airplanes, one on standby, and I'm flying one. That's kind of my insurance.
There's no telling how long Brennan's leaking plane will be out of commission. Per Dahl will have to keep waiting.
Well, there's Studley.
Bud arrives at the airport. It's time for Brennan to ask his dad for the use of his backup plane and walk into a minefield of unresolved issues.
How are you making out with that other plane? Because I've got to find a backup airplane.
Mm-hmm.
So
what happens if you bust mine up? How do we get another airplane? If I would have leased that one the other day, and it was down in those trees...
By the sounds of it, you don't want me flying that airplane.
You're only concerned about a backup plane for you, not for me.
So then I have no backup system.
That's possible.
Is that what it is?
Well, you may as well say it then.
Well, no, I'm asking you.
No, you're telling me. This wasn't the son asking the father, Daddy, could I use your other airplane if mine breaks down? He never asked me anything. He tells me, get this ready, do this, do that.
When the shoe was on the other foot...
You are so full of shit,
No, hear me out. No. And then...
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, because...
Do you think I'm stupid?
There's just so many years of built-up tension and conflict.
You want to lie to me?
I'm not the one busting it up.
No, hear me out. Hold on. He pushes my buttons to get a reaction out of me, to make me look like a asshole.
You're so full of shit.
This is retarded here.
For now, Brennan's down to one plane, and until he gets it back in the air, he's out of business. In Nipawin, Saskatchewan, Brennan Jardine's hopes of leasing his dad's crop dusting plane are washed up. Now, his fate is in the hands of the mechanics.
We're doing everything we can to get to your field.
The farmers who are counting on Brennan to protect their crops aren't the only ones at risk. Until he gets his only plane back in the air, Brennan's own livelihood is in jeopardy.
I've had close calls. I lost an airplane. So then I look and say, what is the lesson that I need to learn from that? What is God trying to tell me, right?
Back at the airport, Brennan finally gets some good news from the mechanics.
I'd say he fixed it.
It's been 3 long days since he was due at Per Dahl's farm.
I got the fuel leak fixed, so I was just going to fire it up. All right, bye.
The job is still waiting, and Brennan is back in the saddle. The recent setbacks have tested Brennan's resolve.
Okay.
But today's job will require every ounce of his considerable skill.
After that plane crash, I was a bit rattled. This isn't just playtime here. This is a dangerous game we're playing. It's a dangerous occupation, and it could happen to me anytime. So I did the easier fields first. first 2 fields weren't too bad. Then when I got in that last field, close to Perry's yard, it's like, okay, this is it, right? Power lines, big trees to go over, and there was just absolutely no room for error. Just a split-second mistake, and I'll either hit the power line or I'll hit the trees. So I had to kind of block everything out and just focus totally on what I'm doing. Even though everything's happening really fast, it's like it slows down for me. So I'm going under, I'm holding the stick down, I'm holding the spray valve, I got my feet on the rudders. I try to get down as low as I can. And boom, spray valve's on. Looking, yeah, I can do this. Shut her off, go under the line. And in this case, I couldn't just pull up, I had to yank it up. I had to pull some G's, and boom, I could tell I still had her, and I could just tell I was in the zone.
To recover from the loss of his plane, Brennan will have to stay in the zone and keep on bringing it day after day.
I'm back on top of my game. I'm good to go, let's rock. Give me some acres. Boom.
Last time I seen the doctor, he says your blood pressure is high. Oh, he says you better quit those cigarettes, he says. Gee, I said, don't tell me that. All the doctors in the phone told me that years ago. And I said, all them doctors are dead.